I was a happy child, middle of the road, easy going at school, and high school did well, went on to uni. I was streamed in my later years of high school in the sciences because they wanted to have more women in sciences, and that was something that I did well. So I streamed through and then went on to study biochemistry at university. But unfortunately, sitting in a laboratory wasn't the world's most exciting job, so I moved into business fairly soon after that. Learning Ventures helps large corporations with their leadership, and leadership is a really key driver to the success of any business because pretty much the leaders help and aid anybody in the organisation to perform better. So it's about the leaders of the business, and we help large organisations to improve that. Leadership in businesses is going to change. A lot of organisations are structured very hierarchical, and that is just not going to suit not only the world that we live in, which is a bit more ambiguous and it changes quite rapidly, but it's also not going to suit the two generations that are coming through and in the next 5 years will be in our workforce. So we've got Generation Z and I think it's Y and Z that are coming through. In the next 5 years they'll be 45% of our workforce, and they are a generation that are tech savvy and not the slightest bit interested in being told what to do. And so we're going to have to change our organisations to be able to adapt to that new workforce that's coming through and be able to engage them so that we can still be in business. Organisations or clients would come to Learning Ventures because we've got our eye on the future. And I think implementing and changing people's leadership behaviours in the current paradigm is not going to get them what they need to be really successful 2 or even 3 or 4 years down the track. The world is changing, our workforces are changing, and an organisation like Learning Ventures stays ahead of that curve and is able to help companies move and change more rapidly and give them the skills for the future. And one of the other things that they'll get from an organisation like ours is a high care factor, high touch factor. And that's really, really important when you're changing people's behaviour and working intimately with people in a business. We care a lot about our clients, we care to make a difference, we care to change their behaviour, and we care to deliver value at the end of the day. So it's a care that's one of our values. And it's a value that we not only hold for our clients but also internally in terms of our internal people and resources. My definition of success is about not worrying so much about the outcome but how you achieve it. And I think if you have your eye on the main game and you enjoy the process of being in business, of serving others or helping others, of consulting to people, of talking to people and being in business, I think that's more successful if enjoying that particular part of the process than necessarily the outcomes. The person I respect is Charlie Teo, and some years back my mum had a brain tumour, and he was one of the only doctors that was prepared to operate. I then started to investigate Charlie, and what I really admire about him is his maverick quality and the fact that he's prepared to take risks and step out of the boundaries and do things. And I think that's a lesson that we can all learn in business, to not be afraid. He's taken a hell of a lot of criticism in his life, and yet he still continues through with honour in doing what his mission is in life. And I really love that ethos. I think it's really important to give back. Society has given to you and given you the success that we have or that we've been able to achieve in business, and I also think that people give to us. Running a business is not a sole operator job, it's a collective, and we have lots of people that contribute to us, so I think it's important to give back. Yes, in terms of a social outcome and charitable work, but I think it's also important to develop other people and give them quality of life in their work life. So that's as important a social outcome as it is to give to others that are less fortunate. The advice I'd like to share with somebody that's starting a business is really about being very optimistic. I think you just have to go for it. If you have a business idea, there is so much support around these days, whether it's incubators, the internet is just full of advice. You can read books, you can get mentors. There is every opportunity to start your own business. And I think if you're optimistic about the future and set good plans, then you have every chance of being successful. I think also one of the pieces of advice I'd give people is don't worry so much if it doesn't go great today. Or, you know, there's always the opportunity to wake up tomorrow for a new day. And it will change, and frankly enjoy the ride, because it is a ride. There's ups and downs, and it's not going to be a perfect sort of curve going up, but you know, that's part of the fun of being in business on your own. You are the controller of your own ship.